Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is a sincere wish to see the Buddha. A long time ago, there lived an old couple. They believed in Buddhism sincerely and prayed to their Buddha statue and burned incense every day of their lives. As a result, the ashes of the burned incense accumulated into one big bag. As time passed, the couple aged. One day, they discussed their faith together, and one of them said, "Look how sincere we are to the Buddha. Even the ashes of burned incense fill a large bag. Why don't we journey to the West to see the Buddha and show him our sincere hearts?" They both agreed, and soon set out to the West with a bag of incense ash. After walking for several days, the couple saw a butcher who was killing a pig. They walked toward him and said he would not kill the pig, otherwise he would create karma. The butcher gave them a glance and asked, "What are you doing here? What's in the bag?" They replied, "We believe in Buddha. We have burned incense to the Buddha our whole lives, and we now have a bag full of ashes. We are bringing it on our way to see the Buddha." As soon as the butcher heard this, he threw away his knife immediately and bowed deeply to them and said, "Please take me with you. I also want to see the Buddha." The old couple said, "You want to see the Buddha, but the Buddha might not necessarily want to see you because you are a butcher." The butcher pleaded, "I don't want to kill anymore. I just want to see the Buddha. I'm not afraid of any hardships. Let me carry your bags for you. And as long as I can go with you, whatever you ask me to do, I will do it." After the old couple discussed with each other privately, one of them told him, "All right, you can carry the bag for us, but do not blame us if you do not have the chance to meet the Buddha." The butcher said, "From now on, I will sincerely try to be good. Both of you are kind-hearted people and have believed in Buddha your whole life. If I follow you, I believe that I will definitely meet Buddha." So the three of them continued on their way to the West. When they finally reached a place they had been staring at for a long time on the horizon, they realized it was a big river, and it was blocking their way. They were told that they could see Buddha if they could cross the river. But the water in the river appeared formidable. It was several miles wide, and no one knew its depths. How could they cross the river? So all three of them kneeled and prayed to heaven. They wished the Bodhisattva could come to help them. After a while, there were colorful clouds in the sky, on the top of which appeared a Bodhisattva. She said, "You believe in Buddha is sincere, and Buddha knows this." While speaking, she waved her hands, and a golden eggplant fell in front of them. Bodhisattva continued, "Whoever can cook this eggplant until it becomes soft, the Buddha will take him to his paradise and end his suffering." She disappeared after she spoke. The three of them picked up the golden eggplant and noticed that it was pure gold. The old couple became disappointed and cried. One of them said, "Gold is indeed precious, but how can we cook it until it's soft? If we cannot do that, we cannot see the Buddha. My goodness, I have burned incense and done good things all my life, and I have traveled so far with all kinds of suffering along the way. Was it all just for a golden eggplant?" Then they cried more. At this moment, the butcher stood up and tried to comfort them. He said, "Don't cry. Since Bodhisattva told us it can be cooked, then it certainly can be cooked. Let's collect some dry firewood and set a pot to cook it." The old couple heard this and also said, "It really sounds reasonable. Since Bodhisattva said so, let's do it." Thus, the three of them started cooking the golden eggplant. 3 days and 2 nights passed, and they kept adding water to the pot. they became exhausted and were almost out of strength. On the third night, when they observed the golden eggplant was still as hard as before, the old couple got disappointed again and one began to complain. We've believed in Buddhism for so many years. If Buddha doesn't want to meet us, why didn't he just tell us when we were at home, rather than teaching us this way? How can a golden eggplant be cooked to softness? Then they told the butcher that they don't believe the golden eggplant could be cooked, and then they were too old to work on it. So they planned to rest a little bit and set off on their way back home. While adding more firewood into the pot, the butcher said, "Yes, it can be cooked. It can be cooked. You have to keep on doing it. Maybe a miracle will happen soon." The old couple sneered, and one of them said angrily, "Okay, you stay and cook it yourself. We have lived a long time and have never heard that goat can be cooked. You just cook it and go see the Buddha. We cannot do it. We devoutly prayed so much and accumulated a big bag of incense ash. But we are not even better than a butcher. If we can't cook it, then how can you? Don't forget the type of person you are." The butcher was not angry and was not bemoved by their sarcastic words. He firmly believed what Bodhisattva said and kept adding firewood into the pot. In the evening, the old couple gradually fell asleep. At dawn, the butcher called out to them, Come here, hurry! The eggplant has become soft, and now we have a chance to see the Buddha." The old couple walked over and found that it was true. Seeing such happiness in the butcher's face, the old couple became jealous and angry. And one of them picked up the cooked eggplant and threw it into the river, while saying, "I cannot see the Buddha with one bag of burned incense ash. You, a butcher, want to see the Buddha? Now the eggplant is gone. So how can you go see the Buddha now?" While watching the eggplant being thrown into the river, the butcher's eyes widened, and he called out at the top of his lungs, "Oh no, I will go and get the eggplant." Without hesitation, he jumped into the river despite not knowing how to swim. The butcher's action shocked the old couple. They thought that the butcher cared about the eggplant more than his life. The butcher indeed began to struggle for his life. Shortly after, the old couple silently watched the butcher's body floating on the surface of the river. He had died. While they stood near the river, then suddenly heard heavenly music in the sky coming toward them. Bodhisattva appeared and pointed to the river, and water immediately divided. In a flash, the butcher transformed into a huge golden arhat and followed Bodhisattvas upwards with a solemn expression. With colorful clouds under their feet, they gradually disappeared in the sky. This story tells us that it is indeed very important for practitioners to have firm belief in gods and Buddhas. Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe it. Thank you again.